watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and you know what this music means? It means it's time for What the Tech with Mr. Brad Rambur.
It actually
Welcome back to America Trends.
It's time to talk about the trip to Vegas and seeing Adele, maybe.
Oh, I did see Adele. It was the best time ever. I'm still not over it.
The best.
The best. She is beyond anything I could ever imagine. Better than I could have imagined, yeah. She's pretty out there.
Quite talented.
Quite talented lady. So welcome back.
Thank you.
To our Lawful Hunters studios. We've got a lot of topics here. We've got a lot of topics. Buckle up for, okay, so our first topic, viewers at home want to know. They asked specifically, and in the control room, want us to talk about the Silicon Valley Bank situation. You are a cybersecurity expert, you are a pilot, you are a money numbers guy. You're kind of all the things. So we're going to you with this stuff. And one of the first links I saw was that employees receive bonuses before it happened. That's one that you sent me. I don't even know where to start with it all, but maybe you could just give us a top-down look at what happened and
sure.
your viewpoint.
We'll start with the personal story. So I got a phone call from one of my colleagues in an absolute panic. What does this mean for us? Because one of the organizations I work with banks at Silicon Valley Bank.
Okay, deep breath there, deep breath.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So, okay, good old San Diego State Econ and Banking, or Econ 490, Money in Banking. It's a long time since I took that class.
Econ 490.
Well, it left a scar, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you understand how this stuff works.
Yeah.
And so what I said to him, and this is before we knew the bonuses were getting paid, was there's this thing called the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which means that if this bank is the 16th largest, they're not going to let it fail. And this is before it was in receivership, right? And so I said, I think what's happened is they bought some securities and the market shifted and those securities devalued. And they said they wanted to sell some shares of stock to raise funds. Because of those devalued securities, they had to write down, which was I think it was 1.2 or 1.8 billion, whatever the number is. And then there was a run on the stock, and the stock plummeted 62% in value, which of course devalues the market capital of the bank as an operating entity. So of course people are panicking, and the government intervenes. And it's why is the government coming into sweeping up when a business is mismanaged and fails becomes the active argument. And then you learn that everybody's bonus got paid before things crashed. What gets more interesting is let's look at the stock transactions of the executives in that bank before this news reached the public.
Done that?
That would, I understand that might be the case. All right, Bianca, go.
Research assignment.
Yes, we're gonna be reading it on the monitor exactly what happens there. But this is not an uncommon occurrence, and that's insider trading.
Yeah.
And that's, look, I'm gonna run an enterprise with other people's money, and I'm gonna mismanage it, and I'm gonna make a wreck of things.
So, okay, a couple questions. So with the link, employees receive bonuses, with that topic. So people at the top knew this was gonna happen, and they're paying out employees ahead of time to help cushion the blow.
Did you see the list of golden parachutes is what that's called?
Okay.
Of the executives during the 2008 financial crisis?
No.
And how much money
I had a baby in 2008. I wasn't paying attention to anything that year.
My bride, the OBGYN, calls that the pregnancy fog.
Yes, I think I'm still in it, but that's okay.
Me too.
Yeah.
The sympathy weight definitely stuck around on me.
Same.
So the situation is that these guys have, to incentivize them to take the jobs they do, which are very high stress and of course very high reward, they build in these clauses in the operating agreements of the companies that, well, if this happens or that happens, you still have to pay me, and this trigger event causes my stock to instantly vest, and my bonus gets paid, and here's the amount. So based on the nature of the entity construction and those agreements, all that stuff can fall into place. And so that's what happened in 2008. So paying all the employees their bonuses before the you-know-what hit the you-know-what. That was probably an operational decision, but I suspect it's going to get scrutinized very heavily because, you know, Biden got on camera and said, no government funds are going to be used to rescue this bank.
I saw that.
So, okay, then let's keep it that way. And there's a reason he said it, because government funds have gone to rescue other for-profit enterprises for which the executives who mismanaged them and caused them to crash got paid handsomely anyway. So I don't think the public's going to tolerate that.
I have a question about, did the people that currently bank or were banking at SVB, did they literally wake up and see it in the newspaper, or did they?
Oh, heck yeah.
Man.
I sent the article to our boss.
Oh, wow.
He went, oh dear. Not
dear.
exactly what he said. I have it in print, but
you
Jared's
for
back there
holding
on the bleep button,
Yeah,
waiting to
yeah,
waiting to
our
hit because
whole
he knows my my disposition exactly.
Yes. Okay, so do we have other ramifications? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, think about this Credit Suisse
what
thing.
else should we stress about today, Brad Rambur?
Well, Credit Suisse. How big is that bank? Apparently, there's a $56 billion fund
Suisse?
being Credit Suisse.
Suisse, okay.
I have a French
Brad
last name.
Rambur?
Yes, Mr. Rambur. Right? Somebody punted a duck. It
I like how
sounds
you
like that. Make the
your
duck
nose up,
lips
yeah.
while I make the duck sound saying my last name. Yeah, it's good times. Yeah, so Credit Suisse is...
Oh, I'm getting some news from the control room.
Okay, what do we got?
SVB sold how many? 83 shares, 84 million shares before this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There goes the nose trombone. Oh, and we got the CEO up front. That's going to become a familiar face.
Total 29.5 million. All right. Well,
Richest county in California.
since 2021. So,
I thought it was loud, but...
okay, so back to Suisse.
Yeah,
Bank
right. So,
Suisse.
so now there's an international banking system collapse being talked about, and how we're bolstering Credit Suisse with $56 billion, I think is the number. Don't quote me on the number. But, right, so now we have this, Putin's like, well, you threw me out of your banking system. How you feeling now? And we're watching all the wobbly in the Western banking system. And so that, as it goes to the international conflict and the Ukraine and the alternate alliance, which I think is now Brazil, China, and some others that are looking to trade in a different currency than the U.S. fiat currency.
Like crypto?
No, not crypto. I think they're looking to declare the Chinese currency the fiat currency, the yuan.
Okay.
Y-U-A-N is how we're spelling that in Latin characters, but I don't know if I'm saying it right. But Chinese money, communist money. So it's...
So tips, a business owner who may be watching this, thinking, what should I be doing then with my money?
I got this from a trust attorney many, many moons ago. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation is insuring up to $250,000 of deposits in a bank.
Okay.
If you have $10 million in there and the bank fails, well, you get $250,000 back. The government will guarantee that. There's nothing stopping you from having, what would that be? That would be 40 banks for $10 million at $250,000 each.
Is there that? How many?
That's
are
administratively
there?
a little complicated.
How many are there?
How many banks?
Yeah.
Oh, there are lots of banks.
Okay.
The independent state bank charters, they're all over the place.
All right. Okay. So should we?
Does your head hurt now?
Yeah.
So does mine.
It does kind of.
Yeah.
So.
Well, does that mean your bank's taking care of you, or your bank's taking care of itself with your money? And the government has to step in. Things to be thought about.
Well, everyone's taking care of themselves.
Yeah, but is a company itself?
Well.
Back to graphic of executive.
Executive,
Who's
right?
responsible for what? Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, we were talking about Joe Biden. Let's talk about this, that the administration prepares to regulate cloud security as another area because...
RTFO.
RTFO. What's
Right the bleep on.
Okay, good.
RTFO.
So because everyone's putting stuff into this cloud.
Yeah, what is the cloud?
What is the cloud?
What is
that
the cloud?
Could be a whole segment.
That's a bunch
What the
of...
tech is the cloud?
Well, okay, so look, which camera are we on? Here's the definition of cloud computing.
Yes.
You're renting some bunch of somebody else's computers. You're renting them, like a rental car. Hertz. Get in a car, pick one.
Okay.
That's it.
So you're putting your stuff, all of your stuff,
In somebody else's rental car.
in somebody else's rental car. So right now, if you're with iCloud iCloud, so Apple has my, but then Apple, they're probably renting out they have all their storage. Okay, so they own everything of mine, which I already know because everything I do is on an iDevice.
Try not to announce it on camera.
Sorry, I don't have iDevices.
As Mary's security advisor,
Can we bleep that out?
I'm gainfully employed. Let's just say that.
Oh my God. So, okay, I have this little thing here. A single cloud provider going down could take down the internet like a stack of dominoes, said Mark Rogers, Chief Security Officer at QNet. So that stack of dominoes is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
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 So Biden's saying, okay, we got to come in as the government and help regulate this so we can protect our Americans.
Which they already have been for themselves. There's GovCloud and there's FedRAMP, which is a federal computing security standard that in order to do business with the government, you have to stick to. So that they're giving that, extending that out to consumers is actually hugely valuable, and requiring companies to build and deploy secure systems that we can trust in using.
All right, cool. Well, we've got another segment with you coming up.
You might need
Stick
some
around.
aspirin.
I do. My head hurts. I need to take a break. Everyone at home, stick around. We've got more America Trends and more What the Tech with Mr. Brad Rambur right after this quick break.